Hey, YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, thank you guys for tuning in and subscribing, man. I appreciate the love, for real. We're growing and we're growing fast, and we ain't looking back. We're going to keep going to the moon. We're going to reach this message to everybody, and we're going to get everybody on the same page. We're going to get these fat fuckers in shape, and we're going to open our minds and expand on this shit. So this episode specifically, we're going to talk about how getting in shape, getting on body game does not, and I repeat, does not heal your low self-esteem overnight. Contrary to popular belief, fellas, that shit gonna take time. You're gonna have moments. You're going to have moments. Even if you in the best body that you got, even if you in the walking in the best version of yourself, you still gonna have moments to where you still looking at your individual being as who you used to be. That's just what it is, right? Some people associate, oh, that's just body dysmorphia, you'll get over that shit. It's deeper than that. Right? It is. That's why this whole ordeal is a spiritual journey, right? You think you're going to lift weights, get sexy, do all these great things, to which you are, but that's literally just a side effect of what it is that you go through, of what you've overcome, of what you went through, the journey, right? So it's not going, you having a sexy body, you getting all this attention, you commanding respect when you walk in the room, you really don't know how to deal with any of this shit until you journal, until you read, until you talk to a therapist, you have a coach, you got somebody who been through what you're going through and come out on the other side. That's why it's so important for you to surround yourself with these people. I get it. I see a whole bunch of memes about, oh, if you in the gym alone, then you just a cold motherfucker. I mean, I gym alone, but I'm not a cold motherfucker. I go because that's me time, right? That's how Sean takes care of himself. That's how I get what I need for me in order to tackle the day and tackle any kind of responsibility, any kind of problem that may come my way. I don't want to say I had low self-esteem because I was always an arrogant motherfucker. I truly was. Even at 315 pounds, like I said, I may have hid a lot behind the clothes. I may have hid a lot behind the fat. I may have hid a lot behind everything. But low self-esteem wasn't one of them. I was an arrogant motherfucker. Had no real reason to be as far as like the physical part, but I had everything else going on for me. Career, money, just every other thing that kind of made up and compensated for what I was lacking. And that was a great body, a healthy body, right? So that stuff didn't really apply to me because to me, your esteem is essentially what you feel and think about yourself. And I thought super highly of myself, and that kept me going. The depression, that was some other internal shit that I needed to deal with in therapy and did and still doing, right? But the low self-esteem won't be fixed just overnight like that. You have to put in the work. You really have to open up. You have to give yourself that. You have to be vulnerable when you're talking to these therapists. You gotta let your coach know what the deal is so they can like properly help you get over what you need to get over. That's why I got nothing but love for Ralph Frazier. I got nothing but love for, Ken Hamilton, because even though they own two opposite ends of the spectrum, that's what I need. Because for me, I got to come into the middle. I got to have that common ground. One tells me, hey, you can say whatever you want. You just got to package it well. The other tells me, hey, you can say what you want, but think about the consequences and how, you need to be this way. But both of them got the same thing in common. Bro, in order to be the solid man that you want to be, you got to be stoic and you got to be calm, right? And when you stoic and you calm, you can't be shaken. All the little shit tests you're going to get in life, all the shit tests you're going to get from your girl, whatever, that's just what they're going to do. Women are going to subconsciously just fucking shit test you, bro. That's what it is. They'll kick you when you're down, not even care when you're down, but you got to not care. Fuck what you doing. Hey, I'm going to be all right. You just do what you got to do. And you have to pass these tests because that's just not the woman testing you. It's God sending you tests too. He blessed you with all these things, but you asking for more. So he tests you to see if you can handle them more, right? I think for me, and this is just for me speaking, I asked for a lot of things from the Almighty. And I think he's starting to give them to me because situations I wouldn't remove myself from, he's taking them away from me in order for me to grow. And, when that circle got smaller, I get it. I mean, you're going to be alone. You're going to walk alone in certain areas. But you have to be okay in walking alone, because that's why I love going to the gym, because I'm going to be alone. I have to be alone to get my thoughts right. I have to be alone to understand the situations in which I'm dealing with. I got to be alone to tell myself, don't be afraid. Just keep going. It's hard walking in the dark when you can't see or feel shit around you, but you got to have that unwavering faith that you're going to be okay. And sometimes that's hard. It is, because we're meant to question things. We're taught to question things, but some things we just got to walk by faith and not by sight. And this spiritual journey, it goes along and making you, right? What make you is going to be whether you're broken in this season or you thrive in this season. And it's going to be some long nights. It's going to be some, oh man, I don't know if I can go through with this. I don't know if I can do that. But if you still waking up and you still showing up, you winning half the battle, because you're showing up for yourself. When you waking up early in the morning, you still showing up for yourself, especially when you got to take that walk and go lift them weights. You showing up for yourself. And that's how you're going to help get over this low self-esteem. But it's going to take time. You can't rush that process. It's like you have no idea how many people went from being straight cooked straight cooked to uncooked, but they still carry a lot of that old identity with them because they're afraid of letting it go. I'm going to be very open and honest. It's certain parts of me in the beginning that I was like, oh, I don't want to let that go. What is this person going to say? What is this person going to think? Me now, 191 me now, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, just look how I did the fuck. I don't give a fuck. It changes. It just does. Because once you realize you can do these things, once you realize you can do the hard things, man, your self-esteem, your confidence, your arrogance, man, all that shit is gonna line up. And when it line up, it's a whole nother atmosphere, man. Because my motto was, hey, when I hurt, I'll heal. When I heal, then I'm hell. That's what it is. And I think I done got to the part where I'm the hell part, because I've been playing these scenarios in my head. Like, dang, how this gonna look for me when I go home? How this gonna look for me when I'm doing this job interview? How this gonna look for me when I gotta interact with my parents? How this gonna look for me when I gotta interact with, I don't even care about none of that shit no more, because one thing is for sure, two things for certain. I don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, I know my standards now. I know my boundaries, and that's just gonna be what it is. When you realize the level of fucking power that you actually have, and you give up that whole being a nice guy shit because, oh, you had low self-esteem, or you was depressed and you cared about this person, you want to make them happy. Yeah, that shit goes away when you keep finding yourself. That shit goes away when you keep journaling. That shit goes away when you keep getting coaching and therapy. That shit goes away when you look in the mirror and realize, I'm that motherfucker. Straight up. You realize you that motherfucker. And when you realize you that motherfucker, you just want to sit back and chill. Man, look, I done set a couple standards for myself. One, I'm not finna argue. I'm not finna go back and forth with anybody. I'm just not doing this shit. I'm going to continue to just operate in the realm that I'm supposed to operate in, because it's not comfortable for me, but it's what I know I need to do, right? I know I need to say no. I know I need to stand my ground. I know I need to do these things, and I'm just not afraid to do it no more. I don't care about how it's gonna make you feel, because you're not considering me when you considering something for you. You worried about you. You're not worried about me in this process. So I don't see an issue no longer with just saying, yeah, that worked for you, but that shit don't work for me. But because of the position and the power that I'm in, this is what I'm going to do. And you can do whatever you want to do outside of that. As long as you ain't fucking with me, we good, right? So I don't want to say I had that low self-esteem, but I did have that nice guy shit. But that nice guy shit gone now, because I don't get that feeling. I don't get that painful, like, drop feeling in my chest no more. I don't get that nervous feeling and shit no more when I know I want to say no, but I just can't because I don't want conflict. Oh, I don't want to care. Oh, I care about how this person feels. Yeah, no. Stop. Stop. Pull yourself up. You got to. Don't fall into this trap of doing the most when you don't have to anymore. You don't. That's why you journaling and you keeping up with the inner work while you're on this journey is fucking key. You can't miss that. And I don't get me wrong, I've had Anthony tell me you gotta journal. I've had Luther tell me you gotta journal. At first I was just praying a lot, but I understand now the importance of journaling because I'm gonna look back in this shit in a year and be like, damn, I was tripping this bad over this? Damn, what was I thinking? But that's growth. That's growth. You gotta start from somewhere. That is real growth when you go through these life things. And I'm not downplaying low self-esteem because some people do have it, because keep in mind, you were a fat motherfucker for so long. And then when you got off your shoulders and you got off your ass, you picked up them weights, you meal prepped, you ate those meals, you said no to the goofy shit. And even when you didn't say no to the goofy shit, you did what we do and you got back on fucking track. Guys, I went ape shit 2 weeks ago. Ape shit. Had a whole bunch of healthy pasta, which is this shit right here. It's this what is it called? Vegetable pasta or whatever. It ain't like made with real pasta. It's just like vegetables and other shit. That had me in the chokehold. I ate a whole like almost 2 whole bags of that. Stepped on the scale the next day. I was at 197. That shit said 202. I ain't fucking panicked. I just went back to fucking work. And 2 days later, I was back to 190. I was back to not only 197, that shit said 196. I don't panic over that shit no more because I know it's not fat. It's just glycogen, it's water, it's fluctuations. That's just what it is. But you get back on track. And when you get back on track, can't nothing shake you. If you eat healthy 90% of the year and on that regular 10%, it ain't gonna fuck up your physique. And if anything, that's not gonna fuck up your confidence and your self-esteem. It's gonna boost the both of them because you know, hey, I messed up, but so the fuck what? I'm gonna get back on it. The importance of, I can't talk about meditation because I'm still working on that, but I can talk about the journaling. I can talk about the prayer. I can talk about those things because I actually do them. Right, so I'll never want to say, oh, I had low self-esteem, but then when I got sexy and shit, it still carried over. Because yeah, you motherfuckers ain't doing the work, right? So I'm encouraging everybody who's on this journey right now that if you are not trying to lose 10, 15 pounds just to have a little six pack for the summer, but motherfucker, if you was like me and you needed to drop a whole 5th grader off of your frame so that you can operate and be in yourself, your best self version of yourself, you need to journal because that self-esteem and a sexy body, that low self-esteem and a sexy body and an attractive face, that shit, it's gotta match. It's gotta match because then you are walking around in a Ferrari, but a bum is driving it. It makes no sense, right? Like, why would this homeless man be in a car like this? Did he steal it? We obviously know you didn't steal your body because this is one thing that you can't fake. This is one thing that you can't just buy. That is a fucking lie. I seen something today where people going to this doctor and they getting ab shapes and shit in their stomach looking weird. What's up? What the fuck is up with these weirdos? I think that's weird. If you get it, I'm calling you out. You get it, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to clown you. I don't care. You can fight me. Argue with your mama. I'm going to clown you because that's once again society trying to give you an easy way out. And the one thing I liked about this journey so far, for the people who know me, for the people who remember who I used to look like, I would get a drug joke before I ever got the Ozempic joke. And I talked to my homeboy about it. I said, man, why you ain't say I was on Ozempic? He was like, bruh, Ozempic just make you look like a smaller version of the fat you. He's like, bruh, you've been working out. So we know that. And it's crazy how certain people, I ain't gonna say it because I'm trying to grow my audience. I ain't trying to split nobody. Certain people will go get that surgery. Certain people will go hop on that Ozempic and be like, oh, you look amazing. You better not come around me with that bullshit because I'm gonna be real. Like, you do not look good. Like, are you sick? They're like, what you mean? I lost 65 pounds. Yeah, but look at all that skin. Like, you just look like a smaller bag of Kool-Aid. Like, bro, what are your aesthetics? You know, and granted, that may just be their thing, you know, and that's what they want to do. I mean, I do know somebody personally who went and got that surgery, and she did as the best decision of her life, and now she in the gym killing it every fucking day. But her shared will and determination is completely different than a lot of you motherfuckers who just want to get it because they lazy as fuck. Because when you get it, you ain't gonna work out. I know 5, 6, 7 people who got that surgery. They don't work out. They just got it so they can look skinny and small, and you look bad. You do. I've told you this to your face, so it ain't like, you know, it's not like I'm saying anything behind anybody's back. Oh, yeah, you just look smaller, bro. You look bad. And it's like, I wasn't joking when I said it because you ain't put in no fucking work. You had your insurance paid, you paid the deductible, you went there, you took the easy way out. And I have no sympathy for people who take the easy way out because it's not sustainable, it ain't gonna last, right? Fellas, if you watching this and you going through your journey and you doing it the hard way, journal. Please don't let a beautiful thing happen to you and you can't really enjoy the benefits of it because your feelings ain't there. Because once your mind catches up to your body, you gonna be hell, bro. You gonna have to really learn to humble yourself and taper down. And for me, I swear to God, it's not hard. Like, I understand what this, and granted, you will get treated differently, and that's a good feeling. But you can't let a lot of this shit go to your head. And you got to be mindful of the people around you because they remember you being a certain way. And then they were like, oh, you think you look good, now you can do this. I ain't say that. You said I look good. But let them have it. You know, you did something a lot of people can't do. You did something a lot of people won't do because they fucking lazy. Because they ain't got delayed gratification. Because it's always an excuse. I'm busy. I got kids. I got to work. I got to do all this shit, right? But I've come to learn that there is nothing stronger than a made up mind. And when you make up your mind on something, you damn near can achieve that motherfucker. All you got to do is just go after it because your mind is the most powerful thing in this world. That whether you can or can't is right here. That's it. And when you say you can, you do. And if you say you can't, you won't. So I'm a big advocate on mental health because I've been through some shit myself. I used to take certain medicines and shit, but you have to be mindful of where you are in your journey and where you are in your life because it's easy to get sidetracked and be like, oh man, I'm looking real good now. But yeah, bro, what you writing down? What you reading? That's why when I give y'all suggest books to read, that shit ain't for my fucking health. It's to help you. Because if you can't handle this shit, you gonna blow up your life. I know a whole motherfucker right now that if he was to get in shape and he out here gleaning and popping and shit, that motherfucker will leave his whole damn family because them bitches will be on him. That's just what it is, dog. And like you have to come to it. That's why I really feel like God to give you certain things in the right time. Because I told y'all the other day, I couldn't handle this body in an old mindset. I would have blew my whole life up. I just would have. But because everything happens in God's timing, my maturity level got bigger, better. My level of awareness got better, just understanding, calmness, realness, you know, and accountability. Accountability comes with that not low self-esteem, but that arrogance I had quite a bit, you know, because I wouldn't allow myself to be accountable to myself because of my arrogance and my ego. But when you got low self-esteem, that arrogance can be not arrogance, but that accountability can be a bad thing because you can go down a rabbit hole of what you're doing wrong or why you don't deserve this and shit. I'm telling you guys, you got people to talk to. I had somebody literally book a time to talk to me about some real shit. And it wasn't me trying to sell him shit. He wasn't trying to buy shit. He just needs somebody to talk to. And I'm perfectly okay with that because we all go through shit. You know, he told me about his experience getting treated so much better because he was in shape. But when you walk around and you see all these people that's cooked, be prepared. It's going to feel good, but you got to make sure your mental is able to handle it. You got to make sure you have that emotional maturity to handle this shit. Because if you don't, it's going to fuck you up. It really is. So give that some thought, guys. You know, I can't stress it enough. Journal, read, talk to a therapist, talk to a coach. Because as you working on your outer, your inner is just important. Train the mind, the body gonna follow, right? And your body is literally a receipt of your thoughts and how you treat yourself. So when I see these motherfuckers that's cooked, and I used to think about how I used to look when I was cooked, I didn't give a fuck about myself. You could look at me and say I didn't love myself. You could look at me and say I had no discipline, no accountability, no structure, just winging it. Just winging it. But I'm not winging it no more. And you don't have to wing it no more either. My Calendly is in the description. Go ahead, check that shit out. Book time with me. We'll talk. You know, it's more than just about, you know, getting in the best shape. It's also having the best mind and spirit to go along with the body. And don't get me wrong, I still fall short on some things. But me going through this journey allowed me to have my standards. It allowed me to have my boundaries. And it truly allowed me to learn to put myself first. What you want ain't my concern no more. It's what I want and what I'm going to get. And I truly hope and pray that whoever listening to this, when you go on your journey and you see how big you used to look, and then you come down and you look like, damn, I got a jawline now. Damn, my fucking shoulders popping in this fucking large T. Imagine when I get a fucking medium T. Gonna be hell, boy. And I know that. I need y'all to know that. You can think the same way. You could be the same way. I'm gonna be hell, boy. That's all you got. Hey, I'm gonna be hell. Because you are. And you got it in you. Come on, big fella. You got this shit in you. You really do. You just gotta go out there and get it. And when you get it, you got it. And when you got it, you got it. Don't play them fucking away games.